In September of 2017, I had just finished university, and I had some time on my hands. Between applying for jobs and working at a coffee shop, I played League of Legends. One evening, I was playing with some of my friends. We had a bad string of games and weren't in a great mood. I was farming in top lane, killing little minion dudes to get gold and buy them so I could get stronger. I knew that in about 20 minutes, I would be able to get into a really fun part of the game, skirmishing, teamfighting, and posturing over objectives on the map. During those 20 minutes, I thought about the frustration that I would feel if we lost. I thought about what else I could be doing in those 20 minutes. But I didn't think I could get that kind of satisfying gameplay without the time investment. We lost that game, and after over 1,000 hours of League, I quit. I haven't played it since. I know now that in those 20 minutes, Battlerite could have given me the great parts of League multiple times over. Battlerite is a free-to-play MOBA. It was developed by Stunlock Studios, released into early access in September of 2016, and made its official release in 2017. The game has been dabbling in a Battle Royale mode recently, but considering this is going to be a standalone game, I'm not going to talk about that here. The base game clearly takes a lot of inspiration from MOBAs that came before it. You pick one of 25 champions, each with their own unique abilities and identity, and enter into a battle arena in teams of either 2 or 3. The goal is simple: kill all of the enemy players before they kill all of your players. The first team to win 3 rounds wins the game. Simply put, every game of Battlerite is a repeating cycle of the teamfights and skirmishes from other MOBAs. This bite-sized, simple format is the foundation that makes Battlerite so gratifying to play. Each full game of Battlerite takes less than 10 minutes, and apart from the time between the rounds, there's no chilling in the arena. This serves a couple purposes. One, you don't have time to get frustrated. Losses are short-lived, and brief rounds mean that if you are at a disadvantage, it doesn't last long. 2, every game is action-packed. You are constantly leant forward in your chair, completely engrossed in what you're doing. This intensity is partly down to the small arenas, forcing the players into constant combat, and cleverly, they are mirrored, so both teams start on the left side of the screen from their perspective. This removes any side bias that you see in other MOBAs. Essentially, if you're not currently fighting, it is probably because you are actively avoiding it. Furthermore, the vast majority of the abilities in Battlerite are skill shots, meaning you have to actively aim or place them. This stops the game feeling like a slog. You have to be mobile, avoiding enemy attacks or trying to predict the enemy's movement so you can land your abilities. This ever-flowing form of combat is the juicy centre of Battlerite, but Stunlock Studios have added a layer of beautiful tactics all over it that intensifies the experience. For example, there are orbs that appear in the centre of the map, and whatever team destroys it gets a health boost. The teams are constantly jockeying for position around it, and you have to decide on the fly whether it's better to attack the orb or the enemy, get in damage, or make sure that you get that orb. Furthermore, there are walls and structures that you can't see through. You have a fog of war. You don't even share vision with your teammates. This can divide a battle or even allow a player to set up an ambush. These tactical elements are simple, but they lend the game a texture and ensure that the battle is always just a little frantic. There's one other tactical element that keeps the game interesting as well, and that's the fun and varied characters. There are 25 champions in Battlerite, split into 3 categories: melee, range, and support. Melee characters can be bruiser tanks that thrive in the centre of combat, or assassin characters that need to jump in and out. Range characters can be steady damage dealers, or experts at dumping out damage quickly. Support characters are the most varied of the bunch. They may provide shields, healing, buffs, or debuffs, or anything in between really. Anything that could give your team an edge. This grouping of character types can be a little misleading though. Each character in Battlerite is pretty damn unique with their own playstyle. meaning you can find a champion that fits with your style, or mix it up and have a constantly varied experience. They even managed to make support characters super engaging. The active skill shots mean that none of them just sit back and heal in a dull world of their own. This being a free-to-play game, you will need to buy or earn loot boxes for champions and cosmetics. I'm never a huge fan of loot boxes, but I never felt like I was being taken for a ride. You can earn them a pretty steady clip, and it can be hard to get upset when it all looks so great. In any given game of Battlerite, there is a lot happening on the screen, so it is imperative that it is easy to read. You need to know what's going on. The game does this by adopting a heavily outlined cartoony style. The champions pop from the background. Animations from abilities and movements are exaggerated and easy to read. It's a testament to the visual design of how recognisable each ability is, whether that be knowing what your teammate is doing so you can follow up, or countering an enemy move. It's not just functional either. The arenas are delightful and look marvellous, while the character's appearance and movement and even quips tell you about their charming little personalities. At its core, Battlerite is a bite-sized, frenetic MOBA experience. The combat is active, it requires attention, skill, and it's some of the most intense last-minute plays I've ever experienced. It is layered with a collection of efficient tactical mechanics, and has some of the best champions in the business. All of this while looking stunning and communicating perfectly with the player. This is a battle arena worth fighting for. And if you've enjoyed this little game recommendation, subscribe for a new one every Wednesday. I'll see you next time.